Good evening, YouTube. Tonight we're going to make this simple web page where you enter a radius and it tells you the area of a circle. So for instance, if I entered in 10, well, I should get 10 times 10 times pi, which is 3.14, so I should get 314. And you'll see that it gives you this little alert. The area is 314 square units. Okay, so I'm going to build this locally and show you how I'm going to do it. So let's open up a terminal. You'll see I have a server running locally, so I'm just going to stop that. And I'm going to go back out of this folder and create a folder called Web Circle, and we'll call it YT for YouTube. Okay. All right. So now let's cd into Web Circle YT, and let's create some files. So I'm going to need an index.php file. I'm going to need a header. I'm going to have an HTML file, header.html, form.html, and I'm just doing this by touch and then listing out the names I want to create, and then a footer.html, and we'll also need a style sheet, so style.css. So I'm going to create all those files, and then I'm going to open Emacs in this folder. So I'll just type Emacs dot, and that'll open up Emacs, and it opens up to Dear Ed. And then I'm going to open another window of Terminator here, which is my terminal emulator, and I'm going to cd into math. And then from there, let's see, I'm going to cd into Web Circle YT. And now I'm going to start the server. I do that by typing PHP -S, then a space, local host 8000, because I'm running on the port 8000. Now, you have to have PHP installed, which I do, so I'm going to run it, and you'll see that the development server has started. Cool. All right, so now I'm going to Emacs. Let's get the font a little bit bigger. I personally like the small font, but for this video, I'm going to increase it a little bit. So I'm going to toggle my menu mode, set the default font. It's at 11. I'll set it up to 18. Nice and big for you. So now we see it. It's nice and big. And then I'm going to toggle the menu mode off. Okay, so now I'm going to start with my header.html. All right, for that, I'll hit Alt-X and I'll type in emit mode, because I have emit mode installed, so that allows that in the current buffer. Then I'm going to type an exclamation point and Control-J to expand, and then I get to preview this emit preview instead of having to type it out. I like it, so I'm going to hit return, and out it types. By the way, tonight I'm using it's kind of like an IntelliJ IDEA theme. So anyways, if you like that. Now, you notice Emacs does some odd things with the indenting. It like indented it back. It's kind of like, should we do 2 or 4? I don't know. It's probably something I have to do in the configuration, but I'm just playing with it tonight. So anyways, I'm going to type meta and then hit enter. That'll give me a meta tag, and I'm going to say name is viewport. This is just good to have it. Content equals width equals device width. Initial scale equals 1.0, 1.0, and close that. Okay, cool. And for the title, let's give it a title. Let's call this circle area calculator, something like that. Okay, and then let's go down here and let's not do that. Let's do a space, and we'll make a comment that we're going to put in some Bootstrap CSS. I'm just going to use the CDN. Okay. So let's go over here. I'm going to go over and get the Bootstrap CDN. Okay. And by the way, if we refresh this right now, we're going to see that nothing is running yet. Okay. Because this is a different folder that server is running on. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go here and then paste that in. Okay, And here I am going to make a comment that I'm going to put my custom CSS in here. I want to put it below the Bootstrap link in case I want to edit anything, but I'm really using the Bootstrap link for like the button and the input. The custom CSS I'm going to use just to center it. So I'm going to type link and then CSS and Control J and expand that out, and you'll see it automatically puts in style.css. I could, if I had a different file name, I would change the file name, but I'm not going to because I already made a file called style.css. Now, we're not using a menu or anything like that, but it's a good habit to link in the Bootstrap JavaScript bundle. Okay, and let's go down to there, get that from the CDN. Now, if you were in production, you might do something different. I don't want the Emmet preview. Instead, I want to paste, so Control Y, paste that Bootstrap JavaScript in. But actually, we're going to take this part and I'm going to cut this part out for a moment. And to do that, I'll hit Control W to cut it. And then I'm going to save by Control X, Control S. And then we'll go back to our Dear Ed and go to the footer because I want to place that stuff in the footer. So to paste it, let's see, I'm going to do Control U, no, Control Y, sorry. Control Y, and then I paste that in, and then let's save the footer. Okay, so the header and the footer are done. So now I'm going to go into Dear Ed again, and I'm going to go and work on the form. Okay, so let's actually enable Emmet mode here. Okay, and let's type form, and then inside the form, I want a label plus an input with the class form control. That's what Bootstrap uses. Okay, so I get this. I got a form action, and I'm going to have the action happen on index.php, and the method is going to equal post. Okay, and this is going to be a label for the radius, which is what I want to know. And so I'm going to say something like enter the radius. Now, to make this stylus a little bit better, I did forget to put in a div with a class of margin bottom 3. And I want to close out that div as well. So, I'll do that. Let's just get that and edit that. Okay, so now we've got the form control here. Type is text, which actually I want number. Okay, and let's see, the name is going to be radius. And we also we don't want to put a value in there. I'm just going to have an ID equal to radius. Okay, and let's save that. I think my form is decent at this point. So I'm going to go back to Dear Ed, and let's go into my style.css. And what I'm going to do is target the body. So I'm going to type body, and I want to have a display of flex. I want to justify the content to the center. I want to align the items to the center. I want the flex direction to be a row, and I want the height to be 100% of the view height, and that's going to be my custom CSS. Okay, so let's just see where we're at this point by refreshing this localhost page. Okay, so continue, and we're not anywhere yet because we haven't included these in the index.php. So let's go back to Dear Ed, and we'll go back to the index.php, and I'm going to type a few PHP tags. So I'm going to do PHP and then include once, and then header.html. Okay, and then close that PHP tag. Then we'll include once form.html, and then we're going to also include once the footer.html. And I forgot a closing quote here. You'll see the difference in the syntax highlighting, letting me know, hey, you messed up. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Now let's go back and refresh. And we're going to Okay, so we got that. So one thing I forgot is the button that we submit, but you'll see it says enter the radius. Okay, so let's fix that up a little bit. Let's go back to Dear Ed here, and we'll go back to the form. And right above the form, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go here and say something like, I'll do a paragraph tag. This form calculates the radius of a circle. So we'll give after you enter a radius. So it kind of tells them what it does. Now we want, let's have another div with a class of margin bottom 3. Just create a different div and close out that div. And within the div, we want to have a button with a class of btn, and let's have btn primary for that nice blue. And then let's also have a type equal to submit, a name equal to submit. That's important. ID also equal to submit. And let's say in the button, we're going to say submit. And then we're going to close out the button tag. Okay. Now we're going to save all this. And let's hold on, let me quit out of here. Let me just save that. Okay, so we saved it. All right. Now we're going to continue and refresh. And we've got something a little bit off here. So we might want to include this paragraph inside the form. All right, so I'm going to mark this, come across here, and then cut it. And then let's go here and paste it. And now let's save it and see if that takes care of that issue. Okay, so now it's looking a little bit better. All right, cool. So we've got a nice form. It looks even a little bit better than the example I showed. So we stepped it up a notch. Isn't that nice? Okay, but if I go to enter something, let's put in 25 and hit submit, nothing happens, okay? Because we need to code some PHP into the index.php, which is handling the form in this case. Now, in many websites, you'd actually have a different page that would handle the form, but this is just a short video for presentation purposes only on a Friday night. So we're just going to do it in the index.php. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back to Dear Ed, Alt X to get that. We'll go back here, go to index.php, and we're going to handle the form code below where we include the form, but above where we have the footer. Okay, because I'm going to just echo something out at the end, and it will, tell you the area. So what we want to do is we want to have an if statement. We want to say if is set, and then the super global post. The reason we want to do that is we want to look for that they've actually clicked the submit button. So we're going to type in submit. So if that happens, then we're going to do something, okay? So let me just format this a little bit. Okay, so we're going to then say that the radius, we're going to set a variable called radius, and we'll do that with the $, then radius, is equal to the post radius value. Okay, so whatever they put in there, it's equal to that. Okay, cool. All right, so now we're going to set a variable for area, and we're going to say that's 3.14, so pi r squared. So it's going to be times, and then we're going to do pow, and then the radius raised to the second power squared. Okay, so that's good. And now we want to give this back to the user. So what we're going to do is we're going to echo. And then let's do single quotes here. And we're going to do a div with a class of alert and alert info to get that blue. And it's going to have a role equal to alert. Okay. And let's close that div, and we'll say something like, space in here a bit. we'll say something like the area of the circle is, and then we'll do area square units. Okay. And what I want to do here is just close the quotes and concatenate this on, and then close the quotes and concatenate that. Let's put a period there. And we're also going to concatenate on here. Let's just do that while we're at it. Do a little bit of concatenation on here. We got to go up here, put that there. There we go. That's, the index, the syntax highlighting is letting me know, hey, you got to fix that. Okay, and then we want to close out the div. So we'll do that, and that's some odd Emacs thing that it does. I got to look at the settings on that. But anyways, so we're going to have it echo that out. So let's see if that works, and we'll see if we have any errors and if we have to fix them or something like that. So I'm going to enter 10, click submit, and it says the area of circle is 314 square units. Okay, so we can neaten this up a little bit. Let me look at my style sheet for just a moment. Okay, go here, style.css, flex direction. I should have that as a column. Okay, so I'm going to hit and save that, and let's refresh. Now this should be a bit better. Okay, so now you'll see it's below, and the other thing we want to do is just fix the spacing a little bit. So go back to the index.php. I want to put a space here and the space here. Okay. All right, let's refresh it again. Okay, so you'll see now it's 314. We can type in 20. That's going to be a lot more because they're squaring it. So it's 1256. Okay, so on and so forth. Let's do 25, and we'll submit. And you see it's working. Okay, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, as it really helps the channel grow. And I thank you for watching, and have a good night or a good day or whenever you watch this. All right, have a great day and take it easy.